moment, because we have not yet spoken at all, I think, about the experiences that you observed in continental Europe.
Yes.
We focused so far on North America. So give an illustration as to what you found in continental Europe.
Yeah, I think the really interesting, innovative program that I spent some time around in the Netherlands was around specialist volunteers. So these are people who perhaps have a successful career in banking, in finance, in various different digital, cyber, IT related industries or walks of life, but also a fascinating range of other specialisms. Or someone who had an expertise in dentistry, who was being engaged around some forensics work in policing. And the idea is not that you take those people from paid roles in other walks of life and translate them into a paid role in policing, because for all sorts of reasons, which I'll come on to, that model doesn't really work. But these are people who are community minded, who, typically speaking to them, have some interest in policing. And what the Netherlands have done is they've created this specialist role where those people can come into policing. They do a shorter academy which teaches them core elements of investigatory law and practice, so that they aren't just being brought in as a consultant, but so that they can actively be part of the teams that they're working within. And after that short training, they are integrated into teams where, talking to one volunteer who's a banker who works in his day job around audit functions, he was coming into investigations, and essentially because of that 20 plus years of professional experience he has in that environment, he was seeing things within fraud investigations which other people weren't. And I think the success of that model was not only how integrated those professionals were throughout the case and throughout, within the policing team, but how this model also leaves them in their professional context, because that's really important. If you take the banker out of their audit role and you simply place them in policing, those skills quickly become lost, because and it's similar with the people I was talking about with cyber IT skills. The reality is that if you're not at that cutting edge of your industry, doing what you're doing with the latest tech and with the latest techniques, if you simply remove those people from that context, within 6 months, they haven't got that fresh skill set anymore. Whereas if you can develop this sense of also policing, also being involved in the police investigations alongside continuing in their professional fields, it's a really powerful thing. And they talked a lot about what the volunteering and policing brings back to their day job, that they're learning a lot, which is really relevant to that as well. So it
seems multiple benefits to policing, to the individual, and indeed to the individual's employers as well. Yes. So three distinct sets of benefits there, I feel. Now, we could, I know, go on for quite some time on this, and I hope we can have the opportunity to return to this on Policing TV. But presumably, certainly from what you said, there seems to be, from North America, from continental Europe, and from the bedrock of experience that you have here in the United Kingdom, potential learning, potential insights for all groups. And my suspicion also is that some of those jurisdictions where you haven't yet had the opportunity to research, whether it be across Africa, South America, Asia, across to Australasia, not only, I suspect, would you be fascinated to hear, and I would be fascinated to hear of some of their experiences, but you've got some insights that could well be relevant to those jurisdictions as well. We'll put a note in the messaging accompanying this video as to how people can contact you. But do you just want to give us a quick and viewers a quick sort of headline as to how they can get in touch with you?
Even within national settings, people are leading volunteer programs pretty much unaware of what the practice looks like 20 miles down the road, and we have so little international sharing. So the ambitions going forward are to develop much more of an international network around, leads for programs, academics are the key stakeholders, so that we can share much more of the practice which is out there around volunteer police. The ambition is to begin to grow a global observatory so that there is one place online where you can see what volunteer policing looks like in different places, and be able to access contacts and learn more around that. So yes, I'm hugely enthusiastic about working more with, I think that the sense of bringing this together globally has a huge, has a huge potential. But and I think everywhere there is something to learn and something to feed into, into other places. And you mentioned around the world, some of the big volunteer programs in places like Abu Dhabi and Dubai, the huge crime prevention volunteering program in Japan. This is a worldwide endeavor, but we don't understand it globally yet. And yes, one of my ambitions in coming years is to just bring people together on this agenda. There's so much of policing now where we have an international dialogue and an international learning, and I think if we can do that around volunteer police, it will be hugely valuable.
Well, let's, whatever Policing Insight and Policing TV, through this video and in other means, can do in supporting you in that very justified, although somewhat ambitious. Why not ambitious? But
yes,
it's something for more than one person, I suspect, in achieving this. But Dr. Iain Britton, for the time being, thank you so much for those insights, both from your earlier career, but also now in the expertise and indeed the passion that you have for understanding more globally about the work of volunteer police officers, auxiliaries, or whatever they may be called in their particular jurisdictions. Thank you so much. And we're virtual in this recording. Prior to the recording, you mentioned that there wasn't an ice cream to be had.
Disappointing.
I will make sure that upon my return to the UK that we meet up for an ice cream, even if the weather outside is not entirely conducive to ice creams. Iain, for the time being, great to see you. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.